It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Could the Fed rate be holding up the action? Folks, you can see the logos of those mega dealer friends of ours, and I'm asking that question, what's holding up the action? I mean, we already thought that Dex Imaging would have left Staples. They would have already bought UBO and FlexPrint. I mean, I started the rumor they were going to leave Staples like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. They need to get the hell away from Staples so they could build their empire. We also know that the Doyles, they want to build $1 billion business. They want that thing to be $1 billion plus. Buying UBO and FlexPrint would definitely give them that $1 billion plus, right? That'd be exciting stuff. Today I want to share some thoughts. But I do believe that the Fed rate could be holding up some of the action. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when these deals were put together, the Fed rate was like zero, right? I mean, we were 2.5% in 2019. We were at 0.25% in 2021. And here we are at 5.5%. You saw the press release yesterday. They're going to keep that rate between 5.25% and 5.5%. They want to keep inflation at a 2% level. We'll see where it goes, but it's not going to change probably till June now. So now I want to ask a couple of questions. And I want to share why I believe that the next 24 months are crucial for our industry and how the investment community sees our industry. It's crucial what happens over the next 2 years. Which investors want to stay and play? Let's talk about the investors of these roll-ups that I have here on the Sharp Magic Board. We got Visual Edge IT. There's no way in hell that Ares wants anything to do with our industry is my bet, okay? They're not, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this was big zero investment, and I'm so sick and tired of people saying, Ray, you're making stuff up. If you don't know how to read a 10K or a 10Q, then when I blow it up on the gigantic Sharp Interactive board, please believe that I didn't make it up, okay? I'm not creating 10Ks and 10Qs, okay? Where it shows where Ares Capital wrote off $48 million on Visual Edge, where it showed where they had a loan and non-accrual for over a year. Come on, folks. It's not made up stuff. And if anybody believes in their right mind that Ares Capital is excited about the Visual Edge IT investment, they'd have to be a lunatic. Enough said? Thank you. FlexPrint. I believe Oval Partners in FlexPrint has a great deal. That was a great deal for Oval Partners, a great deal for FlexPrint. But at this point, I believe Oval Partners would love to exit from FlexPrint and focus on New Charter. I believe that's just logical. New Charter's this roll-up IT services company. They're having some success with that. They talk about it a lot. And at the end of the day, they're excited about it. Do they want to continue to invest in FlexPrint, or would they love for the Doyles to write them a big old check and take that over so they could focus on New Charter? Makes sense to me. UBO, Centennial Partners at Churchill. Do you really believe that Centennial Partners Churchill wants to start buying up more, become $1 billion worth of business in the United States? Not at all. I think they would be more than happy for UBO to exit from them. More than happy. Sycamore Partners, the money behind Staples. I think if Dex Imaging leaves Staples, Sycamore Partners probably don't want anything to do with it. Hey, you're done. You're on your own. It was fun knowing you. Trivest with Novatech. Trivest is not going to put together some $1 billion roll-up. There's no way in the world. And I'm sure that Trivest and Novatech are looking at their own investment, right? They're probably going to figure out something to do with that in the near future. Marco and Norwest Equity, that thing's been in Norwest Equity's hands for so long that they probably just think they're going to have it forever. Don't see a whole lot of thing going on there. But now I'm going to ask you another question. Who would private equity bet on the most of all these players? If private equity is going to back somebody to build $1 billion plus business model in the United States, who are they going to back? Well, we know for sure they're not going to back Visual Edge IT. I mean, that'd just be insanity, right? Hey, let's see if we can put $1 billion together and get that loan to go in non-accrual. Not going to happen. FlexPrint, I'm thinking FlexPrint, they would just want to leave, right? They don't want to build $1 billion business. They're done. Hey, we did our things. Thank you very much, Oval. It all worked out for us. We're all going to retire. UBO, I think they're in that same mindset. That's just my thinking. Hey, we did what we did. We built this thing up. Sell it off the Dex. Fantastic. We're leaving. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess you're guessing who it would be. It would be Dex for sure. I mean, of all these players on the board, that's the one the investors are going to bet on. There's not going to bet on anybody else to do what would have to be done. And if Dex Imaging does it, they know how to do it. They got a proven track record. If they bought UBO and they bought FlexPrint, they would all be called Dex the next damn day. It wouldn't be all these different offices all over the place. We got to keep our autonomy. All that crap goes out the window. This will be all about Dex Imaging building an empire. This would be about Dex Imaging putting together businesses where they can consolidate these businesses, capitalize on each other's synergies, and there would be some big changes. There's no doubt about it, because that's the only way it works. You can make money in a declining marketplace by being the king in the land, especially if you understand how to cut costs and you're willing to cut the costs that your competitors aren't. And when you get to be $1 billion plus in revenue, you could do some amazing things. You would have some amazing relationships with OEMs, number one. I mean, you could do some amazing things. And we have to ask the question, I want to ask it again, who do you believe private equity would bet on the most on this board? And I'm not saying that these other leaders couldn't do it, except for the people at Visual Edge. Obviously, there's no way in the world. That's just a crazy bet. But Dex Imaging could do it. And I believe Dex Imaging will do some of the things I'm talking about. It's just logical. Sooner or later, we're going to see some movement. And yes, I believe some of this could have been sitting on hold to see what the Fed would do right now. But at the end of the day, we got to move forward, and we will move forward. But here's something I want everybody to think about. If we don't move forward, that's not going to be good for our industry. If the Doles decide we're done, we're out, we're just going to retire, Staples keep it, our industry is going to face the reality that the investment community kind of gave up on us. And there's no going back once they give up. There's no going back to an industry that's in decline once the financiers give up. And that's going to affect everybody in the industry. That affects everybody. That affects OEMs. That affects dealers with their credit lines at their banks. That affects everybody. And at the end of the day, something's got to give. And let's hope it gives this year. And I think we all should root for Dex Imaging, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that could actually do it. And everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.